Hey, well, welcome to Trucking TV. My name's Chris Gosley, and we're here on Monday, the 17th of December. It's amazing, isn't it? It's nearly Christmas. So it'll be Christmas Eve this time next week. And tomorrow, drivers, you can have the day off. Maybe you can work on Boxing Day, but hey, I guess that's what some people's bosses are saying. I sincerely hope not, because people deserve their time off. Okay, well, we've got a couple of things for you today. This is really just a little update on a Monday, and I'll bring up the first one of these because, as you know, we do look a lot at the wonderful criminal activity we have in the UK, and we've just come up with a new report that came our way. First thing this morning actually, and this is, as you know, there are a number of organisations that report transport crime. One of them is called NAVSIS, which is run by the police. And they have a freight unit, and that freight unit attempts to collate all the information from all the UK's police forces and publish it so that we actually know what's going on in the world. And I think drivers need as much of this kind of information as possible, really, on the basis of actually keeping safe, and also from the other viewpoint, putting pressure on the police themselves and putting pressure on the government and on the powers that be to kind of try and do something to reduce the level of crime that affects the UK transport industry. It's scary for a number of reasons, and one of those reasons I'll come to in a minute when you've seen this graphic. Here it is. This is the Q3 report from an organisation called TAPA. That's the Transported Asset Protection Association, and they kind of keep track on stuff, as the BSI also do. You saw the report from that if you were watching last week, and they give you all the kind of stuff that goes on really in the UK. And this is the 3 months, Q3. This is the 3 months, July, August and September. And as you can see, some of the numbers are horrifying. Hello, Steve. You're listening from the Philippines. What a wonderful life you live, matey. I hope you're having a good time. Okay, so let's look at these numbers. The interesting one, from my point of view, I guess, is the headline figure. The headline figure in this instance is 20,607,649 pounds worth of recorded theft in the UK. That, I think, is colossal and bloody ridiculous. How the hell do we get to that one, guys? And we're looking at a total of reported incidents on this one of 596. On the previous report that we noted, the BSI report, they had over 600. But anyway, we're talking about around 600 anyway. So you can see the numbers that are there. Losses over 100,000. There were 22 robberies of over £100,000 each from trucks. Some of these figures, I have to say, are absolutely amazing. And as you can see, the biggest single truck robbery was £2.2 million. What are we talking about here, guys? I'm going to be looking at this one later this week as well, because there are some kind of worrying aspects to this that I think we need to look at and think about a bit, because, let's be honest, this kind of level of crime is bloody ludicrous. Okay, let's just finish off with that one. The average loss for major crimes, we're talking about big crimes here, is £247,000. That's a mental amount. And the average loss across all those crimes is £36,000. I find this figure very hard to deal with because, let's be honest, the police do not really take theft from vehicles terribly seriously. They do their best. We know that Warwickshire Police, for instance, are running an exercise to try and get crime in their area under control. How successful it will be, well, I don't know. They said they'd let us know if they had good results, but we didn't hear a dicky bird. Such is life. Maybe we'll hear later. Okay, so one of the things that really is let's be honest, a bugbear about this crime business. Let's look back at that one, where we're looking at those, say, 600 crimes across the course of 3 months. Okay, so if we flatline that over 4 quarters, we're talking about, I don't know, 2,500 crimes, 2,500 thefts from vehicles. But this doesn't reflect the picture, does it? 2,500 thefts from vehicles is a ridiculous number, and we need to do something about it. But the thing that really hits me is that this isn't a real record of crime, because the real record of crime is this one. The one that counts is not the number of crimes that are fully carried out, but the number of crimes that are potentially carried out. And that's what I'm talking about, or where I'm talking about curtain slashing and recce's. When people go out and do a recce to find a good vehicle to rob, they go around a parking site where they can, and they do their little cuts in the curtains, have a peep, and what do they find? Something not worth nicking, so they walk on to the next one. That nobody knows about. I don't know whether drivers report it, but they should. But I guess there must be 10 times that number, 10 times that £600 and 600 crimes in a quarter, 10 times that. I would have thought so. I would have thought 1 in 5, maybe 1 in 10 of those slashes results in a robbery. What do you think? You know more than I do, guys. You're out there doing this every day. So what we thought we'd do, I got together, or a very kind man called Dave Mountford, who's an ex-transport manager. He's done the whole lot, I think, from start to finish, and he knows what he's talking about. He came up with a brilliant idea. He said, why don't we have a proper crime reporting page for drivers? And I have to say, I just looked at his little smiling face. No, I didn't. I read his thing on the on a message. We had a chat online, and what we've come up with is a page. And this is the page. We call it Tracking TV's Road Transport Crime Reports. And what this is about giving you a place where you can report every single crime that you know about. The thing I tend to say to people is this, to you as drivers, the thing I'd say is report it to your company, report it to the cops, and report it to us. Because if you report it to us via this page, Road Transport Crime Reports, TTV's Road Transport Crime Reports, then we'll be able to collate the figures as well. Because what we want to get is not just the thefts. What we want to get is the thefts. What we want to get is the sneaky peeks. What we want to know about is how many attempted thefts there are, or how many reconnoitred thefts there are. How many times do they cut the curtain, have a sneak, and don't do anything? I'd love to know, because that's the potential of crimes that are affecting the haulage industry in the UK. And that's what I'm asking for. What I'm asking drivers to do is spread the word. We're going to put some links on Tracking TV immediately after this show. We'll put a link up to the group. You can find it, send it to your friends, share it where you like, get it around the place, and say to drivers, if anything, diesel theft, sneaky peeks, cuts in the curtain, thefts of cargo, whatever, put it on that page. We will then publicise it around wherever we can. Newspapers, TV, let's say. The number of crimes people need to know, because if people know, then they can put pressure on other people to do stuff about it. If the general public knew that something like 60 or between 60 and 80 million pounds worth of goods are stolen from trucks every year, they might find that really annoying. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think? Report it here. If you report it on this group, then we will report it on Tracking TV, and we'll do our very best to spread it around the world. Because from my point of view, the bottom line on that little banner says, all crime you post here will be reported on Tracking TV. Let's make it too hot for the thieves who prey on trucks. So that's what I'm saying to you today. This is going to go up later on YouTube as well. We'll put some notes on. We will put links onto this to take you to the group. See what you think. If you like the idea of actually having a group that reports crime that affects trucks and does it in a loud and noisy way that embarrasses people like motorway service area operators, that embarrasses people like the police and tries to make people do a bit more about it, then that's the group to go for. You'll find it always linked from Trucking TV. We will do our utmost to keep you up to date with what's happening in crime and other stuff on the transport industry in the UK. Okay, that is, I have to tell you, excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. That is as far as we're going today, because it's just coming up for my lunchtime. Poor old git, he needs some lunch. And I've been working since about 7 o'clock this morning, just like some drivers, I guess. But there you go. This is our contact page. Don't forget to get in touch with anything you like about the transport industry. Always glad to hear it, always interested. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on truckingtv.co.uk. You can find us on Twitter. You can always leave a message in text or in voice on 07943 043 760. There you go. Get in touch with us because I'd love to hear from you. Okay, that's me for the day. I'm going to do a little runner now. And I'll still be working most of the day, I expect, although I might stop and watch a film because I feel like that. Okay, I'm Chris. This is Trucking TV. I will see you soon.